The Coca-Cola 600 on Fox is sponsored by Toyota, moving forward. By Taco Bell, think outside the bun. By Sprint, NASCAR Sprint Cup Mobile. It'll change the way you experience the race. And by Lowe's, for all your home improvement needs. Lowe's, let's build something together.
124 laps complete. Brian Vickers took the lead from Kyle Busch on lap 120. And right now, only 3 drivers are lapping this track under 30 seconds. There's Vickers, along with Kyle Busch, and 5th place Casey Kane. I'm sorry, their fastest laps under 30 seconds. Right now, nobody's near that. Everybody's running the high 31s and low 32s at this point. Here's the pass for the lead.
It's kind of like we say about this car, Mike. It doesn't matter how fast you're going, you're just faster than everybody else.
But that 83 is definitely in that category, Mike. He's actually the only car that's running in the 31-second bracket right now as we're closing in on what will be some green flag pit stops shortly.
And the pit road is dry, so all the work they did, and here comes the 88 finally. He's got to come to pit road or wreck that thing. I think that's the 11 right behind him. Got a battle.
Montoya in the 42. The Colombian racing Kyle Busch for 2nd place. This race is 600 miles long. Montoya, if you had an odometer in his car, is going to run about 620. He's up right up near the wall.
Yeah.
Every single lap he's running way up on the outside. Denny Hamlin has come to pit road. Matt?
And John Hiker has already completed the chassis adjustment. They pull a spring rubber out of the left rear. Jonathan Sherman hits the lugs. He was loose on exit, tight across the center.
Hamlin was running 11th at the time of his pit stop.
And pulling that rubber out will make that car cut through the center of the corner much, much better. Get a little weight off that left rear tire.
Marcus Ambrose on pit road. Joe Nemechek, Casey Mears.
I'd say the 18 car's setting up for to make a pit stop. I think that's why he let Montoya get off his back bumper.
Also Kevin Harvick, top of your screen. That's Joe Nemechek going out, the blue car at the bottom.
Like Greg Biffle's on pit road.
And Elliott Sadler. Now, apparently there's a radio communication difficulty with Martin Truex because Kevin Mannion, his crew chief, has requested NASCAR to black flag the car to get it to pit road. Reed Sorensen's in, Clint Boyer, A.J. Allmendinger, who scraped the wall on the right side, and Kyle Busch. Michael Waltrip's in, and Matt Kenseth. Blocking up the brakes, Sam Hornish. He makes it.
I don't know if he did or not.
Dick.
Kyle Busch said that the car had gone noticeably free except in the center where it had become tight. He said all those changes happened as soon as the sun popped out full. Steve.
Kenseth had to get around A.J. Allmendinger. He said his car is loose on entry, tight in the center, and loose off. Chassis adjustment of 4 tires.
McMurray, Rudeman, Stremme, and Jimmy Johnson.
I'm not so sure that Tony Raines may not be out of gas, but I think he's going to make it, Mike. He's on the apron of 3 and 4 right now.
Krista?
You see Jimmy Johnson in. He was still loose into the turns, but he said around lap 113 his car was getting tight in the center. Steve.
Tony Stewart tight from the center off. They're going to make a track bar adjustment and an air pressure adjustment. 4 tires for Tony Stewart. Tight from the center off, Krista.
Leader Brian Vickers bringing his car in. Ryan Pemberton counting him in. Brian's car was getting extremely loose like others because the track is so slick, but the last thing he said on the radio is that it was very consistent. Brian Vickers extremely happy with this Red Bull Toyota. You see the crew coming around on the left side for the 4-tire change.
Jeff Gordon completing his stop. Montoya is in. Joey Logano's our new leader.
That's his 2nd consecutive race to lead laps. Led about 19 laps at Darlington a couple of weeks ago, and evidently it worked out. Getting the 1 car, Martin Truex Jr. just made his pit stop.
Matt?
And the 2 of Kurt Busch is in. Absolutely no grip. Breaking down each section of the racetrack. Chassis adjustments already completed as well as an air pressure to try to get that car the feel that he's looking for. Krista.
Joey Logano bringing the number 20, and you see him tilted just a little bit cattywampus into his pit stall. Joey Logano's car also loose, extremely loose under throttle with the slick race conditions. The crew putting the gas in, and he's down and away.
That'll put Dave Blaney into the lead. That Prism Motorsports entry. Running today as a teammate to the 0-0. And David Gilliland's great run comes undone by a penalty for too fast entering pit road.
When you're out there racing at over 180 miles an hour, and you got to be down to 45 miles per hour and you get to pit road, and it happens a lot. Normally happens right there at the early part of pit road getting on.
Boy, Larry, I tell you, the 18 car made up a ton of time on that pit stop, in and out. As you know, the 83, Brian Vickers, was pretty far ahead of the 18 when the pit stop cycle started, and right now the 18 regained the lead.
And you know one thing I think that made a difference, Darrell, and even at a track this size, there were not many cars on pit road when he came. When Brian Vickers and Montoya and Jimmy Johnson came, there were probably double the cars on pit road.
I think another thing, I was watching him, what really helped him, his outlap. I mean, he came out of the pits like he was on a qualifying run.
All right, let's have a look at our green flag pit cycle, Larry, and see who benefited from this round of stops.
Now what this is from start finish line, the 2 laps, including the pit stop. You can see there, this lap here, this includes coming on the pit road, stopping, doing the 4-tire stop, leaving pit road, back through 1 and 2, round 3 and 4, a total of 2 laps. Let's see of all of our leaders who was the fastest. Looks like Casey Kane in the 9 car of all of our guys was the fastest on those 2 laps, including the pit stop.
And the one number you don't see up there is the 83 of Brian Vickers, and that's why he's no longer leading. Jeff Gordon just got in the back of somebody in turn 1. I think that was Marcus Ambrose. No spin, no caution, no harm, but Ambrose was there where Jeff wanted to go. Traffic jam Memorial Day weekend. It happens all across America, but here it happens at 190 miles an hour.